When news broke that Nam Ji Hyun had given Ji Chang Wook a special gift, fans immediately wanted to know every detail. Was it a friendly gesture between longtime co-stars or something deeper, more personal? The answer, as it turns out, is both heartwarming and telling. It all started quietly, without the usual buzz of paparazzi cameras or official press releases. Ji Chang Wook had been in the middle of an intense filming schedule for his latest drama, and according to sources on set, he had been looking visibly tired. The kind of tiredness that doesn't just come from lack of sleep, but from months of carrying heavy roles, emotional scenes, and the weight of expectations from fans and producers alike. Nam Ji Hyun, who has known Ji Chang Wook for years since they worked together on Suspicious Partner, knew better than most how much he gives of himself when he's acting. She also knew he rarely complains. That's just who he is, dedicated, professional, and determined to meet the high standards he sets for himself. But she also knew that he sometimes forgets to take care of himself in the process. According to a friend close to the actress, Ji Hyun had been thinking for weeks about what she could do to lift his spirits. She wanted something meaningful, not just an expensive brand gift that anyone could buy. She wanted something that would speak directly to him, something only she would know he needed. So, she began working on it in secret. Between her own filming schedules and interviews, she carved out time late at night to prepare the surprise. Her assistants noticed she was unusually private during these evenings, sometimes staying up until dawn. No one really knew what she was doing until the day finally came. On the morning of his birthday, Ji Chang Wook arrived on set as usual, scripts in hand, ready to rehearse. But the crew had been given strict instructions to delay filming by 15 minutes. He didn't know it yet, but Nam Ji Hyun was waiting in his dressing room. When he opened the door, he found her standing there, holding a large, beautifully wrapped box. Witnesses said his face immediately softened, his usual tired expression replaced by genuine surprise. She handed it to him without much fanfare, simply saying, "Open it later, when you're alone." That simple instruction made him even more curious. After filming wrapped for the day, he finally took the time to sit down and open the gift. Inside, he found a custom-made leather-bound journal. But it wasn't just any journal. Every page had a handwritten note from Nam Ji Hyun. Some pages contained motivational quotes. Others had inside jokes from their time on Suspicious Partner. Some were gentle reminders to rest, eat well, and not push himself too hard. There were even a few pages with Polaroid photos of the two of them, some from set, some from candid moments years ago that he probably didn't even know she had kept. At the very end of the journal, she wrote a heartfelt message. "You've given so much to your roles, to your fans, to everyone around you. This is something just for you, so you never forget that you are valued, not just for what you do, but for who you are." Reports say that when Ji Chang Wook read that last line, he sat in silence for a long time. People close to him said he isn't someone who cries easily, but there was a moment that day when he quietly wiped his eyes before closing the journal. It wasn't just the gift itself, it was the thought, the time, and the emotional depth behind it. The following week, fans noticed something unusual. In a behind-the-scenes clip released by the production team, Ji Chang Wook was seen carrying the journal in his bag. At one point, during a break in filming, he even took it out and wrote something inside. It was clear the gift had become a daily companion. Social media lit up with speculation. Was this just a thoughtful gesture between friends, or did it mean something more? Fans of the Suspicious Partner pairing, who have been shipping them for years, immediately declared it a sign that their bond was stronger than ever. Others saw it as an example of rare, genuine friendship in the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, Nam Ji Hyun remained quiet on the subject. When asked about it in a recent interview, she simply smiled and said, "It's something between us. I just wanted him to know he's appreciated." That answer, of course, only fueled curiosity. Industry insiders believe that this moment reveals a lot about the relationship between the two. It's not common for actors to maintain such close personal ties years after working together. Many move on to new projects, new co-stars, and new friendships. But Ji Chang Wook and Nam Ji Hyun seem to have built something lasting, something that survives beyond the screen. The timing of the gift has also raised eyebrows. Ji Chang Wook has been under consideration for several major projects, and some say he has been feeling the pressure to choose the right one. Could it be that Nam Ji Hyun's gift was not only a personal gesture, but also a quiet way to encourage him to trust himself in whatever decision he makes? As for fans, the reaction has been overwhelming. On forums and fan pages, countless messages of support and admiration have poured in for both of them. Many have commented on how rare it is to see this kind of genuine care in an industry often criticized for its competitiveness. Some fans have even taken inspiration from the story, starting a social media trend of writing their own journals for friends and loved ones, complete with handwritten notes and personal touches. The hashtag #GiftLikeJihyun has been circulating widely, proving just how much of an impact one act of kindness can have. Whether this moment marks a turning point in their relationship or simply deepens an already strong friendship, one thing is certain. It has reminded everyone that behind the glamour and cameras, the best gifts are those that speak to the heart. And for Ji Chang Wook, this one may be impossible to forget. It was an ordinary afternoon on set, or at least that's what Ji Chang Wook thought. Filming had been intense lately, with long hours, heavy scripts, and complicated emotional scenes that left everyone drained. He walked in with his usual easy smile, greeting the crew and joking with a staff member about the catering menu. To him, it was just another workday. But to Nam Ji Hyun, it was a carefully planned moment she had been quietly preparing for weeks. For years, fans had known them as the unforgettable duo from Suspicious Partner. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, but what made them even more endearing was the friendship that carried on long after the cameras stopped rolling. They weren't the type to make loud public gestures. Instead, they built their connection in the little things, private check-ins, subtle support, and knowing each other's needs without having to say much. And this gift was one of those things. Ji Chang Wook was completely unaware that the staff had been instructed to delay his call time that day, giving Nam Ji Hyun enough room to set everything in place. In a quiet corner of the set, she arranged a small table, a neatly wrapped package resting on top, and next to it, a single coffee cup. But not just any coffee cup. It was from his favorite cafe, the one he had taken her to back in 2017 when they were both promoting Suspicious Partner and had an hour to spare between interviews. That memory, which seemed like a throwaway moment to some, had stuck with her all these years. When he walked in and saw the setup, he froze. "What's all this?" he asked, his voice light, but his eyes already scanning the scene with curiosity. Nam Ji Hyun simply smiled, motioning for him to come closer. The cameras weren't rolling for this, at least, not officially. But several crew members couldn't help discreetly pulling out their phones. He sat down, and she pushed the package toward him. "Open it," she said simply. He untied the ribbon slowly, almost as if he didn't want to ruin the wrapping. Inside was a handmade leather-bound journal, the kind that looked like it could last a lifetime. His initials were engraved on the cover in delicate gold script. He flipped it open, and that's when his breath caught. The first page wasn't blank. Instead, it held a handwritten letter from Nam Ji Hyun, the kind of letter that was both heartfelt and vulnerable. She wrote about how much she admired his dedication to his craft, how he had unknowingly inspired her during difficult times, and how grateful she was to have someone she could trust in an industry that often felt cold and competitive. As he turned each page, he found more surprises, photos from their drama days, little notes from crew members who had worked with them, and even mementos like pressed flowers from a location shoot they once did in the countryside. There were ticket stubs from a film they had watched together after filming wrapped. It was clear this wasn't something thrown together at the last minute. It was years' worth of memories gathered, preserved, and presented with care. The crew watched quietly as Ji Chang Wook's expression softened. He wasn't the type to cry easily, but there was a moment, a brief one, where his eyes glistened and he quickly looked down, pretending to study the journal more closely. He closed it gently, resting his hand on the cover before looking at Nam Ji Hyun. "You really remembered everything," he said, his voice low. Nam Ji Hyun smiled, but there was a trace of shyness in it. "Some things," she replied, "are worth remembering forever." Word about the gift spread quickly. By the end of the day, fans had pieced together bits of the story from staff leaks and social media whispers. Photos of the journal's cover began circulating online. Fan forums lit up with speculation. Was this a sign that their bond was deeper than friendship? Or was it simply an extraordinary gesture between two people who had been through a lot together? Entertainment reporters tried to get comments from both of them, but their responses were careful. Ji Chang Wook said only, "It was a very meaningful gift, one I'll treasure always." Nam Ji Hyun kept it even simpler. "It was something I wanted to do." But anyone watching the behind-the-scenes footage of that day couldn't miss the way he looked at her afterward, as if he saw her not just as a colleague, but as someone irreplaceable in his life. As filming continued over the next week, crew members noticed a shift in the atmosphere between them. They were always comfortable around each other, but now there was an added warmth, an unspoken understanding. During breaks, they'd share quiet conversations in a corner. When scenes got emotionally heavy, they were each other's first point of comfort. Some insiders claimed the journal was more than just a gift. They said there were private pages in the back meant only for Ji Chang Wook's eyes. What those pages contained, no one could say for sure. But if the look on his face was anything to go by, they carried words and sentiments that struck deeper than anyone could imagine. For fans, this moment wasn't just about the gift. It was about what it represented, a reminder that in an industry full of fleeting connections, some relationships are built to last. Whether theirs would remain a cherished friendship or evolve into something more, one thing was certain: this wasn't the kind of bond that could be easily replaced or forgotten. And for Ji Chang Wook, who has received countless gifts over the years from fans, brands, and colleagues, this one was different. This wasn't about luxury or status. It was about thought, history, and a shared journey. A reminder that sometimes the most meaningful things come from people who truly see you and remember the moments you didn't even realize were important at the time.